All right, well, I don't want to take too much time away from our speaker tonight, and I'll let Bob introduce her. So go ahead.
Thanks, Paul. We've had electric scooters, several of them. We've had 2- and 3-wheel. We've had 4-wheel electric ATVs. We've had electric pickup trucks. We've had electric cars. We've had giant electric trucks. We've had electric Zamboni machines. In our ongoing desire to keep you guys satisfied, we've got the ultimate now. We've got a whole friggin' train and an expert. So without further ado, Michelle will explain how the state is really going to get moving when we're not using oil anymore and we're getting around by electric trains. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Before we get started, I'm going to pass out a handout, and also really to get the most out of this, I think the Q&A portion is really the most interesting. So I'll do a brief introduction, and then I'd like to show a 10-minute video. And then following that, then we'll open up to Q&A. So Bob, you know, it's all right that you called me Michelle, because a good friend of mine, her husband, always calls me Tammy. He doesn't remember.
Oh, I see.
So you can just call me Hey You, and if it's high-speed rail, I'll talk to you. So again, my name is Kimberly Ong, and I am part of the design team for the Los Angeles to San Diego via the Inland Empire segment. Very long title, but we want people to know we aren't forgetting the people between Los Angeles and San Diego. There are cities, corridor cities in between. I am the Deputy Regional Manager. I'm with HNTB, an engineering company, and we are contracted to the High Speed Rail Authority to provide planning and engineering services for High Speed Rail. And the High Speed Rail Authority, they are overseen by a 9-member board, which is appointed by the state, and they are the ones leading the charge to bring high-speed rail to California. And I'd like to go ahead and start with a video, and then after that, then talk a little bit more about the program, and then open up to Q&A.
And I apologize, we didn't bring the audio equipment, so the audio is going to be coming from her computer. So crank it up as loud as possible, but I just ask everybody to be as quiet as possible so people in the back can hear it. For those of you in the back, if you couldn't hear it, I hope you could lip read.
All right. Did the people in the back hear anything?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent, excellent. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do this for me. All right. So I wanted to give you a status of what we have done, where we are today. So where we are now, we've been working for quite some time to have the financial backing to make this a reality. If you look at Japan, they've had high-speed rail for over 40 years. France and Europe, they've had high-speed rail for 26 years. And you look at the U.S. and what do we have? You know, not a lot to show for it. So we're a little behind on the curve. It's time that we get on the ball, have high-speed rail, and California really is leading the charge for high-speed rail. And for the bond, yes, we have a $9.95 billion bond. Proposition 1, November. This November, if you're not registered to vote, go register, vote. Now, the language in the bond wasn't as favorable to this particular region, like for my segment, like going down to San Diego. And realistically, when it comes down to it, you can't build the whole segment. You can't build a whole state system all at once. We're looking at a $40 to $45 billion project to construct the whole entire state system. So the approach on this one is, let's start to build segments of the system. And from the models and real data that we've seen from Europe, that this is a revenue generating system. It covers its own operation, maintenance, and it also generates additional revenues, which they then put back into the system to construct additional lines. And we have over, well, in Europe and Asia, there's over thousands of miles of high-speed rail. And the only way that they're able to construct more is by being able to have a revenue-generating system to
So the passengers pay for the system entirely?
for operation and maintenance. Now, there is a capital cost, and that's what this bond is about. It's the capital cost to begin the construction, well, finish the design and engineering and do
For the initial
it.
phases?
Right, it's the seed money. And it's not all coming directly from us, the taxpayers. We're looking at something called P3, Public-Private Partnership. I don't know if anyone's heard about that, but it's really looking to the private sector as well as the local, state, and federal. Everybody comes together and puts in a share to support high-speed rail financially. So, you know, overall the system, we're looking at $40 to $45 billion. This first part, the $9.95 billion. $9 billion of that directly for high-speed rail. The other $950 million is for local, regional connectivity to the system. Because one of the issues that I've heard about people in public transportation is, well, I can take public transportation, but when I get to my destination, how do I get to where I need to go? So we do realize, you know, that is also important. We need to have stations that provide services so people can get to where they need to go.
Are you saying that the $10 billion will be enough seed money to generate revenues to provide the other $30 to $35 billion necessary to build the whole system?
Indirectly, that's what I said. What I was trying to convey is that the $10 million will provide enough so that we can start constructing segments so that we can build high-speed rail to and from real destinations. It won't be the entire segment, but it'll be like the spine of a system.
Is it going to be necessary to raise another $30 billion in bonds to build out the rest of the system?
We're not looking for that from the California taxpayers.
You're going to raise that from private sources?
It's a combination of federal funding, some local matching, and also the revenue generating from the passengers, right? From the tickets.
Have the people who want to build this considered how much fiber optic could be laid to every premise in the state so that people could telecommute to Sacramento and San Diego in milliseconds instead of carrying their bodies around?
Do we need fiber optics to telecommute?
Well, you are paying for it, but what I'm saying in terms of the bond measure, the taxpayers, we're looking for this as a seed money. We have a lot of interest from the people who have built the other systems. We have the French, the Germans, Japanese.
What are they going to contribute?
That's part of the private source of funding.
They earn a part of the profits.
That's correct. I mean, it's part of a profit.
Profits come from our
it's
fares, right?
It's part of the overall funding plan. I mean, there's different sources. But I think what's important here is that, you know, how much are we directly taking out from the bonds? I mean, it's like every year there seems to be another bond on the ballot, whether it's for transportation, schools, water. You know, there's all these bonds. What we're proposing is that we know that there's interest. We know that in Europe that they do have real statistics that their system is revenue generating. So that all we need to start building this. Once we start building it, then we'll be able to build more of the system.